Today I'm going to show you how to make cream of chicken soup homemade at home. We are in the thick of it, right? It's getting colder outside and we are going to make a lot of soups, stews, casseroles that need a cream of chicken soup. A lot of you, well, a lot of us, don't like having all the chemicals that come in a can of cream of chicken soup. So today I'm going to show you how easy it is to make every single time. So if you're making a recipe, make sure you save this video so that way you can make it too. Hi, I'm Carrie with eatingonadime.com, and we're on a mission to help families eat well on a budget. This recipe does just that. You can find our homemade cream of chicken soup recipe linked in the description below, or you can also just Google Eating on a Dime homemade cream of chicken soup. Now, this one is actually using flour, so if you want a gluten-free version, I'll have that linked for you as well. Or again, just Google Eating on a Dime gluten-free cream of chicken soup and it will pull right up. Save this recipe, pin it, save it, and do everything you need so that way you will have it every single time you find a recipe that needs a cream of chicken soup. Okay, so we need a medium-sized mixing bowl. I'm going to add 3/4 cups of flour. And then we have some poultry seasoning, I've just lost my brain, some garlic salt and some black pepper. I'm gonna do a quick whisk together. And then I'm gonna add in the milk. And we're gonna whisk this together. We wanna get that flour all blended together. Mixed well together, is what I should say. Give it a little shaky, shaky, shaky. So what we're doing is just breaking down any clumps that would be of the flour. And now I'm gonna keep adding the milk and whisk it together. Now the flour is going to be what thickens this cream of chicken soup. But you don't want to just dump it into a hot liquid because it'll just become a clumpy mess. So you want to do it in with cold liquid. Then we have our chicken broth, about a can of chicken broth. We also have the ounces in there as well for you, or like the cuppage that you can do. We're gonna mix that together. Now, this is how easy it is, okay? Now it's a watery mess, but that's because we're gonna head to the stove, heat it up, and it'll thicken perfectly, just like a can of cream of chicken soup. Now we're gonna take that mixture and pour it into a saucepan and heat it over medium-high heat. Now you want to whisk this occasionally while it's heating up. I did switch my whisk to a silicone one just because this is a non-stick pan. But just a quick whisk every few minutes while it's thickening up. So it starts out looking like a watery, milky mess, but then as you keep cooking and stirring, you have this beautiful thickness. So it's looking like a consistency of a cream of chicken soup. Take it off and let it cool, and then you're ready to store or use. Now, this is going to look bigger than a can of cream of mushroom soup because a can is a condensed version and you have to add like a cup of liquid to make it what it is. But this will still work in all of your regular recipes. Now, if you're doing a recipe and it adds liquid, you might want to reduce the liquid just a little bit if you're using a homemade recipe. Now, as soon as you pull it off, I like to just give it a little test. It's a little hot. A little lick test. I think mine needs just a smidgen more salt. And then you can just adjust your salt or your pepper to seasonings, and this is ready to go. Now when you're gonna store it, make sure you let this cool completely. Mine's still warm, so I'm gonna leave a lid off, but you can store it in mason jars just like you would, will be like in the same container. We do wanna refrigerate this though. It's not shelf stable. I apologize for that. Also, I apologize earlier. I guess it's a cream of mushroom soup, which fun fact, we actually have a homemade cream of mushroom soup on the site as well. So you can Google Eating on a Dime cream of mushroom soup to get that as well. I should probably just pour this in here. So I'm gonna do that. So now we can have this stored up so you can make a double, triple, quadruple batch of this and have them stored for your soups. You can also freeze them. I don't recommend probably freezing them in a mason jar. You could, but you don't have to let them thaw completely out. I would probably store them in either like a silicone muffin tin. And let me just show you. Okay, they were in the other section of my house. So, or you could just use, like mine are really old, can you tell? They've been loved and used on for, they're probably over 10 years old. But I love these for freezing things, so you can pop them in here. Just keep track of how many equals a can. So I'm gonna guess it's probably 3 of these equal a can. You let them freeze. After you fill them up, you let them freeze in your freezer, and then you can just pop them out and throw them in a freezer bag. So then when you're having soup, you can just grab one straight out of the freezer and pop it into your soup or your recipe or your casserole, and it's ready in minutes. So you'll have homemade cream of chicken soup anytime you need, and you only have one pan to mess up. So, okay guys, if you thought making homemade cream of chicken soup was too hard, you're wrong. It was actually super easy, and this is a lot cheaper than buying it in the can because flour, chicken broth, and milk is not that expensive. Okay, I finally got smart and just poured the pan into the jar. Ah, isn't it so cute? Okay, that's too much. Okay, friends, I am out of here. Oh, it's a little warm, so we gotta let this cool. Remember, let it cool completely before you put it in the fridge or the freezer. That's super important. Let it sit on your counter and let it cool off. I just wanna make sure you guys know that. Now, you can grab the full recipe linked in the description or by just Googling Eating on a Dime homemade cream of chicken soup. We tell you how to freeze it, how to store it, how to use it, even recipes to use it, all on that page as well. I don't want you to miss out. Okay, I'm out of here, friends. Thanks so much for joining me. Remember to like and subscribe. If you liked today's video, I would love it if you would subscribe because we are on a mission to help a ton of families eat well and save money. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow for another family-friendly recipe. Bye, friends!